There we go. All right. Hi, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Annie Alexander. And today, our call, we are super excited because we want to talk to you guys about what it means to be on a journey with Wildtree, and also like how that impacts your actual journey of life and what that looks like, and then break it down for you guys and figure out, what are your next steps with Wildtree? What do you want to do? Where do you want to be? And go from there. So if you take a step back and like outside of Wildtree, like big picture this, okay, your life, this is your life. And you're continuously, hopefully, on a journey of growth throughout your whole life. And you get the option to make choices every single day. You get to decide if you're going to have this to eat or this to eat. Are you going to spend your time doing X or Y? You get to make those decisions every single day. And what happens is every single little itty bitty decision that you make builds and builds and builds, and that becomes your life. And it's kind of crazy to think about that, but those like small decisions just layered on top of each other, and there's your life. And you can look back at your life and see how that all worked out and where you are now. And you can decide, hey, this is going great, or hey, I want to make some changes, or I want to grow in a certain area. And so that's kind of what we're going to talk to you guys about today. So the reason that we're doing it today is because Tegan thought about this and was like, holy cow, if we want people to get recognized at conference at STIR, we need to get people onto Team Leader right now, May and June. We need to hit Team Leader numbers so we can be recognized at STIR this summer. So we're like, oh, holy cow, let's get on the ball. So here we are. That's why we're doing this. We're not too late by any means. I've seen people hit their whole month numbers in 1 week. So not too late by any means, but we wanted to get on this and just talk to you guys and paint this picture for you and see where you are. And I would love to see a ton of us up there getting recognized at STIR within our organization. So that's what we're kind of doing. Leadership, being a team leader with Wildtree, it's kind of like, I'm trying to think of an analogy. It's like a drinking station at a marathon. Right? It's just this one little stop on your journey within Wildtree, within your life, and a whole big picture. So it's just this one little stop at team leader. Okay, it's a stepping stone. So if you can learn the skills needed to hit team leader, your life outside of Wildtree is going to change drastically as well.
Yep.
Okay? And you will just see what you learn here with Wildtree. You'll see it start flowing and pouring over into your life. And I didn't really think about this till recently, of the impact of what I've done at Wildtree and what that looks like in my life. So you are really developing life skills with Wildtree at your job, which we're so honestly blessed to be able to do, because not every job allows you to have that type of personal growth. But we can definitely do that here. So let's talk about some of the benefits of hitting team leader. And Tegan, feel free to jump in on this. Yeah. I made like a small list of things that I was thinking of just right off the top of my head. Most people more than double their pay when they hit team leader. So if one of the reasons you jumped on this call today is because you wanted a paycheck over $1,000, here you go. Most team leaders can easily hit the incentive trip. If they're consistently working and doing their business, you're going on the trip, period. You get an invitation to Rise, our special conference for leaders only. Okay, there's training at conferences like STIR. There'll be some leader training there. There's weekly trainings that are led by corporate that are just for leaders. One of the big things is, I don't know if you guys have seen the map, the Wildtree map. But you get your name on the map when you're a leader and have over $1,000 in personal sales, which if you're working your business, you will have over $1,000 in personal sales. And you're on that map. And what that map does is anytime someone close to you writes into Wildtree or places an order, they look up who's the closest leader to that person, and boom, guess who gets the order? You do. Guess who gets the rep lead? You do. Guess what that does to your business? Just continues to grow it. over and over again. So it's a huge thing to be on the map. There's a special Facebook group that is for Wildtree leaders only. So that's fantastic. Tegan, I know you had a couple of thoughts on other things that you've seen too.
Yeah, I just think when we look at what it means to be a team leader, all of the things that we've been talking about that Annie has listed are things that are like tangible, right? Things that you are invited to or things that you see as a result of your business. And I think for us who have been doing this for a while, when we look back at all the people that have promoted or ourselves, kind of an inward reflection, it's really interesting that the things I notice most in myself and in others are things like confidence and just the personal growth factor. And we use this phrase, we rise by lifting others, a lot in Wildtree leadership. And that is so true, that when you're focused on how you're impacting others and how you're best supporting others in their quest to reach their dreams, whether that's making enough to provide extracurriculars for their kids all the way to a full-time income and beyond, a six-figure income, whatever that looks like for them, the ability to link arms with someone and partner with them and help them reach those dreams, there's nothing like it. You can't beat that feeling of being a catalyst and a conduit for service and support in this industry. So I think that piece, the confidence piece, the empowerment piece, really learning about yourself as you grow into leadership, that piece of it, you can't find anywhere else. Yeah, there are jobs out there where as you get a raise and you advance in rank, you have some of those traits that are identifiable in you. But this industry it's run by us, right? We are the ones who are the CEOs of our own business, and we're the receptionists, and we're the boots on the ground, and we are it, right? Our business is us and how we run it. And so there's nothing quite like giving yourself a raise, not by being recognized by a boss for doing a good job that gives you a raise. You are giving yourself a raise, and you're helping others do the same. It's unparalleled. I mean, I just get goosebumps thinking about that factor in seeing people reach their dreams and, do things like Kelly Schwatkin getting up on stage and speaking, and, just that empowerment piece is really, really cool.
Yeah. That's my favorite part of the job right there. That's what I love, and just helping and serving others. And you guys, as Tegan was talking, I was sitting here thinking, like, we were just like you guys at one time. I know some of you tell us, I mean, I've had messages from you like, oh, well, you're so confident and you're so good at this. You guys, I started out just like you, I promise. And Tegan saw me in some of those early stages. She was my very first rep lead. She probably was like, who is this girl? It's probably why it took her 4 years to sign up, right?
Whatever.
but seriously, the growth that I've seen in myself, the growth that Tegan's seen in me, and the growth that I see in Tegan, and, because we've been here so long, but you guys, we were just right where you were.
Yeah.
And so when I kind of made a list and looked back at like everybody who had hit leader, and I made a list of everyone who was going for a leader and didn't hit. And I tried to come up with a theme of like, what is it? Was it group training? Is that why they got there? Was it individual training? Was that why they got to leader or didn't get to leader? Did they do a triad group? What was the theme? What was the character that tied it together? And so I actually came up with the answer. So here's the answer. If you guys are interested in what it takes to be a team leader, here it is, whether you like it or not. It really kept pointing down to time management, which then really pointed down, when you take it one step further, to self-discipline. And really what that looks like is, how do I manage my time? What choice am I going to make today? And like I started this whole conversation, every little choice is layered upon layered upon layered upon layered, and that makes up your life. Okay. So when I started looking back, I made a list of like characteristics of a leader. Driven, they're ambitious, they're determined, they're going to make it happen no matter what. If they were scheduled to work for 30 minutes in the morning on Wednesday and something blew up with their kids, they're doing 30 minutes Wednesday night and they stayed up late to do it, no matter what. They're self-motivated, they're accountable, they're coachable, they're quick to action. And I think that one's so important, like a sense of urgency. So in coaching, when you're given something to do, okay, I'll do it next week. That's not quite quick to action. Quick to action is great. Let me implement that right away. Okay, quick to action and just making it happen. Those that didn't hit leader, when I look back at it, every single one of them was because they couldn't figure out their time schedule and how to work Wildtree into their day and their time. So I would love pushback. If you want to push back, send me a message. I would love to hear it because I really put some good thought into this, and that's what I've come up with. That's what it looks like. I've been doing this for a long, long time. I've gotten a ton of people to leader, and this is just what I see. So a good resource for you guys if you want to learn more is called Take the Stairs. It's the book that Rory Vaden wrote. It's amazing. And this is what it's about, is that time management, how to manage your time, your self-discipline, and what you do. So that's the main characteristic that you need to do this job. That's it. Everything else we can teach you. And really, we can kind of teach the time management piece, but you have to have that self-discipline to get it done. So you get to decide. If you feel like you're a person who's gone through life and you don't have that self-discipline, guess what? You can make a different choice starting right now. You can decide, I want to learn how to have self-discipline. I'm going to learn how to do this. I can do it. It's seriously a choice that you make every single minute of the day. Okay? So you get to make that decision. Tegan, do you want to walk us through logistically, what do we need to do to be a team leader?
Yep, for sure. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so.
Perfect.
Let me see, hold on. One sec. Sorry, I'm trying to declutter some of this so it doesn't. Okay.
Hey, while Tegan's pulling that up, can you hear me?
Yes, Jeannie.
Hey, so I'll just share this as on point with what you're saying. I was going to share it on the team. Anyway, there is 2 points. There's point A of what we know we need to do, and there's point B of doing it. And there's only so much your upline or other people can do. You have to close that gap. You have to close that gap between knowing what you need to do and doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep, absolutely. And I think just like Annie said, just to put about a bajillion exclamation points on this, it really does boil down to like self-discipline and self-management. So now we're going to look at what you logistically need to do to hit team leader numbers. So this is a little graphic I made, oh gosh, Annie, 3 years ago? It's hysterical. Because we needed some way to show what this looks like in a tangible, visible way. So as a team leader, you need you plus two other bonus qualified reps. Okay, that's BQR. And all three of you need to sell a minimum of 350 in a month with total team sales of 3,500. Okay, so it doesn't matter how that 3,500 is broken down. It's 3,500 as a total team with you plus two others minimum doing 350. Okay, so this could look like a couple different things. This example is you sell 1,750 and rep 1 sells 1,000 and rep 2 sells 750. That equals a total team sales of 3,500. Now, this is just the bare bones minimum, right? The U+2 diagram. When you have a team consisting of more than 2 people, that 3,500 is obviously easier to hit, right? So it could be you plus your minimum of 2, and then maybe they each have 1 team member. It could be you with 3 immediate reps direct to you. Whatever that number of your team looks like, it's total team sales. So when we go into this mentality of, okay, you have this goal of hitting team leader, what does this look like? This is the immediate diagram, but we want you to think beyond that. Like as you're bringing in a new person, the verbiage would be, who do you want to do business with? Who do you think would be phenomenal to bring in alongside you? So it's an immediate team building mentality. Okay. So that's something, for another conversation, but that's the mindset we want everyone to be in, is who needs Wildtree, who would be great at this, who would like additional income, who would like a full-time income, who would want to do this with you. Okay. So this diagram, I think, kind of speaks for itself. The tangible pieces of the 350, we can do in a multitude of ways by doing a launch party, right? Your new rep could hit doing a launch party. We also have our free shipping voucher that counts towards that 350. All of the things that we do, whether it be residual sales on the app, whether it be in-person events, whether it be people placing orders through your app or website, shakes, all the things, those all count towards your personal volume. So these numbers, when we're talking about 2 reps selling a minimum of 350 in a month, our average party sales are 700. So if you think about 350, it's a really small number in comparison to what we do on a monthly basis. So does anyone have any questions on this before we move on? Annie, Jenny, did you guys want to add anything to this?
I'm going to add a story to this because I don't know if you guys heard Joanna. She's in our organization. She did one of the Sunday night calls recently.
Hello.
Hi, she's on our call right now. So I'm going to tell your story a little bit, and you can jump in if you want to. I see you're on mute. So I'm going to tell her story. She had close to the number of sales that she needed, if not kind of right at, for team leader. But she had nobody on her team, and we were about 5 days from month end. Okay? What I see happen usually is people will, even middle of the month, or even right now, you may be sitting there thinking, well, I could do this, but I don't have anybody on my team right now. And so, and then you stop working or don't really go for it, okay? And I'm going to challenge you to change your mindset and go for it. And you go for it until 2 a.m., the last day of the month, period, Central Time, 2 a.m. Central Time, 12 midnight Pacific Time, because you never know what can happen. And Joanna is a perfect example, because about 4 or 5 days before month end, she had nobody on her team. And by the end of that month, after our phone call conversation of, here's what you need, and we're going to make this happen. And this is kind of we're going to call it a throw up goal, right? We want to hit this month because we want to hit next month and double our pay. 2 months in a row, you do this. And so she did, you guys, in about 4 days, got 2 reps, and each one of them had $350 in sales using their free shipping voucher, part of their party sales. And so the point is, do not give up. You go for it. This is what you decide, you have to make the decision. Once you actually make the decision, there's no turning back. You just do it. You just do it. And that's where that self-management comes into play. So I just wanted to share her story with you guys, because it's someone in our org that has recently done this, and I've seen it happen.
Awesome. So like Annie mentioned, you have to hit your numbers 2 months in a row. So you would hit these numbers your first month, and that would be month 1 of qualifying. Then you hit these same numbers again, 3,500 as a total team, U+2, minimum of 350 each. And that shows consistency when you hit it that second month. And then the beginning of your third month, so the first of that following month, you would promote to team leader. And here's the coolest part that I still kind of geek out about this, because it's such an amazing part of our compensation plan, that where you show that you hit your first month numbers and you show consistency by hitting your second month numbers. When you promote, you actually get paid as a leader on that second month.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So you're showing consistency, but you're really only hitting that first month without getting paid as a leader. And then you're getting paid on that second month. I mean, it's like unheard of. It is so neat how that works and how that breakdown is, because you're seeing that pay right away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So first month numbers, then you hit second month numbers, and then you promote the first of that next month and you get paid on that second month. So it's a pretty sweet deal. So did we want to go into at all, Annie, like how, like if you're sitting at that place where you're like, okay, it's the 9th of the month, I really would like to be recognized. How do we go about doing this?
So I'll let me go through some action plan, and then let's see what questions we have and see if that comes up. So I want to talk about now kind of what is your leader's role in this, or your upline, whoever you're working with to hit this, because you can't do this on your own. I mean, you can, you will, but we just don't let that happen in our org. You're going to be with an upline, with a leader, with a director. One of us is going to be cheering you on all the way. So here's the deal, and here's what our job is. Our role is to support you in your decision, okay, to go for leader or to not go for leader. It's totally up to you. We're going to support you in that. We're going to encourage you during this time period. We're going to strategize with you on different ways that, like Tegan was saying, okay, what can I do to get here? We're going to do that with you. We're going to point you to places where you can learn skills. We have tons of training on recruiting, on host coaching, on selling shakes. We have it all. Where do you individually need the skills to be able to skill up to do this? Okay. So that's kind of our job. We're going to be running with you and next to you, but we're not going to be dragging you along. Okay. We're going to be there to cheer you on. We're going to be there to point you in the right direction. We're going to be your mentor through this. We're going to be there to text you, to Facebook you, to just, be your cheerleader. Okay. So that's kind of your upline's role in this. Your role, your action steps, if this is something you choose to do, is number one, make a decision to do it and write it down. I will be a team leader. Say it out loud 4 times a day. It's like a positive affirmation that you're giving to yourself, okay? That's number one. Decide you want to do it. Make the decision. Let your leader, your upline, your director, let them know. Minimum, I would be talking to your family as well about this, but minimum, you have to let us know so that we can be next to you during this time period.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you're going to set up a time to talk with your upline, with your leader, with your director, whoever that is, and you're going to set a goal. And those goals, you're going to have number one, a throw up goal. And that means this goal is so hard and so far out of reach, you seriously doubt you're going to do it, but you're going to shoot for it anyway. For some of you, that may be hitting team leader this month and next month. Maybe it's being recognized as a team leader at STIR. Okay, set that throw up goal. The other goal you're going to set, goal number 2, is the no matter what goal. No matter what, I'm going to be a team leader by August 1st. No matter what, I'm going to do, whatever that is. You're going to have your throw up goal and your no matter what goal. I mean, a no matter what goal of I'm going to be a team leader by August 1st is going to be awesome, because it's setting you up for our huge selling season of September, October, November, December. So, for sure, I would make that probably my no matter what goal, my throw up goal, to be recognized. But you do what fits for you, for your family. I don't know everybody's situation. So, okay, so you're going to do that. Your next step is, how do you work? What do you need from your coach? You guys are going to talk about, do you need weekly calls? Do you need text check-ins? Do you need every other week calls? What is it that you need? I would say at minimum, a text a week. Minimum. Okay? You're going to want to set up your plan with your coach. And I would encourage you to your time block. Maybe it's having your list of 10 people you're reaching out to every day. set up on a Friday afternoon so you're ready to rock and roll on Monday of who you're working, depending on your work week, what that looks like, and what you're doing. So maybe having that accountability already ready to roll on a Friday, you text a picture of it or something to your upline so that they can cheer you on. You've got it set and you've got your schedule ready to go. Okay. So that's your action plan. And one of the quotes that I love when I was kind of thinking about this is, the pain of discipline is far less than the pain of regret.
Totally.
Yep, totally. The pain of discipline is far less than the pain of regret. So yes, it's hard to be self-disciplined. There are definitely days that I don't want to make 10 calls, or I don't want to do whatever with my business, or even with my life in some areas. Heck, I hate doing the laundry, but holy cow, if I miss it for a week, I regret it the next week because I've got so much I can't even function. So that's just a simple example, but the pain of discipline is far less than the pain of regret. So I love that we get to make the choice of what we want to do, and every little choice layered upon each other creates our destination in our life. So what kind of questions do you guys have for us today? Throw them in the chat box or come off mute, either one.
Hey, Annie, it's Sandy.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you guys for all of your leadership and your help and your cheerleading and your great ideas along the way. Really appreciate that. One of the questions I have as I'm going through, and I know we'll talk later this afternoon, so I'll save my update for you then. But just finding new people that, you know, when I've exhausted the friends and the neighbors and the homeschool groups and the soccer team moms, like where do you continue to find them to keep hitting 10 a day, like the 10 reach out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great question. So a couple ideas for you on that would be asking for referrals. And there should be a training coming out on Thursday in the Wildtree newsletter on how to do that. And I can talk to you about it today when on our call as well. So referrals is great, because if you can get 5 referrals from all those people that you've already talked to, even if they were a no, they might know somebody who needs Wildtree. That's going to expand your list tremendously.
Yep.
And then really
good idea.
Yeah, and going through and looking at your Facebook friends, you know, or even your phone, just literally going through and saying, oh yeah, did you really talk to all those people? Or are you just reaching out to those people who you talk to frequently? You know, so just making sure, and I'm not saying you, I'm kind of saying this in general, but making sure, have you really gone through however many friends you have on Facebook and really reached out and talked to all of them? Or are you just kind of reaching out to the same people over and over again? So Facebook, Instagram.
I'm pretty sure I'm reaching to the same ones.
What now?
I said, I'm pretty sure I'm reaching out to the same ones.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. People kind of get just a little, well, it's more comfortable. That's why.
Right.
It's easier and more comfortable because those are the people you know better. But really what you need to do is start reaching out to all those other people that you're friends with on Facebook, and text or look through your phone, all of your contacts in your phone, and your insurance guy, and the person who, your financial planner. And I mean, there's so many people out there, and you can also do vendor events in your area. I usually ask them around that, but yeah, those are some top, 3 or 4 ways.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else have a question today?
Hey, Annie, this is Joanna.
Hi.
I was going to speak to way back at the very beginning when you guys were talking about team leader and being on the map.
Uh-huh.
So if anybody doesn't know, I live about 30 miles north of Dallas, and I just so happen to be the only team leader in all of DFW right now. So if you live in Dallas, I'm going to tell you to get working, because here's what happens. Every month, I get referrals all the time. So every week I am getting, congratulations, you have a new customer, notices from Wildtree. I got a connection yesterday. She called me and left me a voicemail and said, hey, I live over in Fort Worth. I called Wildtree corporate, and I got your name. And here's how it works. I talked to her on the phone. She ordered a kit immediately. Talked about already wanting to order more kits. So I talked to her about scheduling a workshop already. And so I just got a kit order yesterday, totally out of the blue. And I'm probably scheduling a workshop with her in July. And let me tell you, she is on my list to be a representative. She's a homeschool mom, 5 kids. I mean, just her family alone could probably benefit financially from Wildtree. So that's the type of stuff that happens when you're on the map, and when you're like me, benefiting from being the only one on the map right now. So I wake up to those emails and it's a smile on my face.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yep, exactly. It's a huge deal. Huge deal. Thanks, Joanna. It's a great testimony. All right, you guys, if there are no more questions, feel free to reach out to your upline, all of those that are on today. Thank you for joining us. And I know there's a bunch of people going to watch this in playback too. So thank you guys. And we're so excited for those of you that want to go for a leader. We're going to be cheering you on. Woohoo! All right. We'll see you guys soon.